What's up, everybody? It's your favorite monotone gamer here, Screaming Stump. Today we are going to build a boat, but it's going to be pretty nice. I'm going to do some advanced tips for everybody, some not so advanced. Anyway, let's get started. First we're going to put our boat down, and we're going to hide this sail because it just gets in the way. It's big and blocky. You're going to need foundations and pillars. I prefer thatch foundations because it's cheaper to make for us ballers on a budget. First, what you're going to do is get your pillar, but don't lay it down anywhere. Just have it activated so you can move it around. Then you're going to look at drive and press it. It'll be perfect. You click A or whatever it is. Then it's perfectly center. Next, you got to grab your foundation, and you're going to set it next to it. You can't set it through it, so you have to go to either side. I prefer the right. And you're going to destroy the pillar. And then you got to put a pillar through it. Then you'll notice when you put it next to it, it's level. It also drops down, which is what we want. We're trying to step it down so we can fortify the boat and protect it a little bit better and try to get it flush with the boat. Takes a little bit, it's a little tedious sometimes. There it is. So right there. And as you can see, it's a step down. Just a little bit. That's why you need to do it about 5 times. Destroy both of these. And put a pillar through this one. And repeat the process on the other side, though. Just gotta step it down again. And you just keep doing this until you're comfortable with it. I prefer about 5 times. It makes it so it's flush with the boat. Always good to have extra material, though, in case you mess up, which is pretty easy when you're trying to lay down these foundations. I'm not the person who came up with this idea. I also saw this on YouTube. I just like to do it. Protects your boat if you're in a PvP. A little bit better. Harder to get to. Right there. Okay, so you see how the wood is flush with the foundation? That's what you want. And you just destroy all this. And you'll be able to see it goes underneath the boat. With thatch, it doesn't look as good, so you want to get a better material, like metal or stone, I would say, depending on what you play on. I like to play primitive. You want to get your foundations that you're going to use, the permanent ones that are probably more expensive. Now that you know that this is set, you're going to just lay down the 9 of them to cover the area of the boat. You can just lay it down or you can destroy it. Probably easier to just go ahead and lay it down, but I wanted to make sure I hit it in the exact spot, so that's why I destroyed the other one. Alright, now that you got that, you can see the boat is inside the foundations. Except for this little nub. I'm not sure if people can hit that or not, and it should be fine. I haven't had any problems with it before. Now we're going to get our walls and our door frames. I like to have 2 doors because it's always good to have an alternate exit. I'll put my door frames down. I put them to the side, not in the center. I'm going to speed this up and just put down all the walls. Alright, all the walls are down. You get stuck right there, but I'll fix that in a second. See, it's difficult to get in right now, but to fix that, what you would do is put a ceiling down or a foundation with a ceiling trick, if you know that or not. So ceilings are just the easiest route. Put your ceilings down and you go through smooth. I'm going to enclose the rest of the boat. And there you go. Basic boat right there. Minus the doors. Alright, now in order to get your boat a little more accessible, I would put a wooden ramp attached to the ceilings right here. You can either come at it from right here, which sometimes it's hard to tell, so I like to go out to the side. And bam, right there. And then you can get into it from the water. You can also get water if you're dehydrated. This part is totally optional. Just however you want to accessorize your boat's fine. This is just how I like to do it. I like to get these 4 ceilings and put them down right here. Gives you more space to work with when you're in your boat. I use it as a mobile home. Alright, get the doors up to prevent people from stealing. And then we're going to put a ladder down. I don't like looking at the ground. You can see it up top right there. Either it'll go in and that won't work, or you can bring it out a little bit and then that's how you get up. I hate having to make extra materials, and I've messed up on ladders so much. It's the devil's toy right there. I don't like it. For chests, I like to run all the way back into the wall. That makes it flush with the wall. And then, after I get it set, I only use my left thumbstick for the forward, back, and left and right motions. Don't use the right one because that'll do different angles. Then I like to just scoot it over as much as I can to the wall and scoot it as far back as I can to the wall. As soon as it's green, it's good to go. And it gets kind of tedious, but I like to make it smooth and flush. And stacking your chests like this will save space on your boat as well, so you have more storage area, taking up less area, or less space. As you can see, it gets kind of stupid. I like to get very technical with it. Just keep your thumb off the right thumbstick and only use your left. Gets everything perfectly straight. Then I don't know if you guys like to use bookshelves or not, but I do because I don't like having blueprints or recipes or any of that other junk. Recipes are kind of pointless too, as you can just use Google or Wiki. On this, since I'm already far back, I will use my right thumbstick, but only to drag it straight down until I get it green, so it's straight, and then I'll use my left thumbstick again to go back and forth after it's green, and left and right. And as you can see, it's all flush, all smooth. You can access all of them from the sides instead of having to go to the front and making it super long and dumb. And there's plenty of space right here from the door. Get in and do what you gotta do. The rest of this stuff that I'm about to put down is going to be pretty much just cosmetic, basic household needs that you need or would want. I like to start off with the corners and then work my way out. That way I know I have enough room for everything. So same thing, you push this all the way against the wall, make it straight, just so it's appeasing to the eye. And then get it as far over to the side as possible. And you put it down. Pretty much all objects work with it, where you can just push it against the wall to get it straight, and then just walk straight back, and it's going to be flush. I did all that. Now I can do the bed for a spawn point in the mobile home. And this one doesn't even have to be very pretty because everything else is already pretty set. So you just put it down wherever you want, really. I just like it out of the way. I like this ladder with the upper deck because then, you know, more space, put more objects down. Put everything I want in the boat instead of having to make multiple boats or have a house on the land. I don't ever have to get out of the boat to go do the things I need to do. Compost bins, because I'm going to put plants up top. And my defenses are also the Plant X species, which would go up at the top as well. The good thing about putting these down as far over to the edge as possible is you can access them from the bottom, so you don't actually have to climb the ladder. You just put them hanging, and then you can reach it from the ground. After I get those down, I can put everything else down up top that I would want, like a fireplace and a furnace. It really doesn't matter where you put any of this stuff. I'm just trying to optimize my space so I can get as many things on here as I can. Make sure you can access everything so before you voyage out to your journeys. This is also an optional part. I like to do it for defense. Makes it harder for animals, or dinosaurs I guess, to attack you if you put a little walkway right here. That way you're safe in here. You can back up, and if the animal's too big, it won't attack you. I mean, it'll still try to, but it's gonna be difficult because it has to come through this little narrow way. And if it gets too serious, you just back up into your door, or, you know, open your door and go back into it, and they won't be able to get you from there either. Now, I'm sure a lot of people probably won't like this because it'll look silly, but this is just how I do it. It's to prevent people from getting on my boat, but I can still get up there if I want to. So you have to be docked pretty much on land. And you just put the ladder up top. Not down at the bottom, but right up there. And then you have to jump and climb. And then you're up top. You could also do a hatch, but the way I put all my plants up here up top, it's not very good. I got one shot left. Let's see if I can hit him. Got it. Ooh, knockout shot. Lady. Alright, anyway. Back to what we're doing. So now, this is where I would put my plants down at so they can get the water. So, because you can't do irrigation on a boat. So instead of putting a large crop plot with plant X on the side right now, which is what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the medium ones down, which would hold my berries, like the narcos or stem or whatever you're trying to use. And I'm going to put 4 of them in the center. You want to try to get it as much center as you can. Again, you just use your left thumbstick to go side by side and up and down, and try not to do too many angles on it. Wait until it's green and then click it. And this one. Right there. There. Alright. That's pretty flush. Pretty good square right there to show how straight everything is. Now these ones for the large crop plots, which is where I would put Plan X as the defense for the boat. You know, it doesn't really matter. You don't have to be too straight or anything with these ones because they're just going to hang off anyway. Right. Now you can see the 4 Plan X would go on the corners, and then you would get your berries in the middle. The back of the boat, you can also put some Plan X on top of the walkway right there if you want. It's totally optional. Everything is customizable in this. Just trying to show you guys some basic stuff to do. You can also use this ladder that's in the front. It's kind of like a guide because it is kind of blocky and hard to see. So the ladder in the front is your center point of where your boat is going. Now, just to show that this boat's pretty good, I hate the swamp, but I'm going through it just to show everybody. You won't get attacked if you're in your boat in the swamp. Sometimes you would get attacked when driving on other boats because you don't have it blocked or anything like that, but in this one, you won't. You can also access beaver dams by driving over them, and you can take all the material worry-free without having to have, you know, beavers attack you or whatever. So you can get all the good stuff you want. And you can see the beavers are circling the boat and trying to get in, but they don't. Conveniency of having all these chests for robbing a beaver dam is you can just grab as much as you want, be over encumbered, and then just throw it all into the chest. This is all the stuff I've stolen from the beaver dams. Just random loot. Just get tons of wood, tons of resources. Well worth it. I'm gonna put wood into the camp or the cooking pot just in case a leech jumps on me, because sometimes it happens if you're in the swamp and you open the door and walk out. A leech can lunge at you for some reason. But as you can see, I've pissed off a bunch of these beavers. And the boat holds up pretty good. They don't really attack any of the stone. The only thing I worry about is these ramps. Those will go down. I guess because they're wood. But yeah, and there you can see 7 beavers charging me. Not really liking what I did. You can either just lead them to predators or, you know, kill them from the doorway with like a bow. Anyway, that's what I got. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you all have a good one.